So we had just seen that the work done is, or the energy stored is path independent. It just depends on the initial and final position. So again, let us go to the example of gravity. So this is earth and this is the ball. Let us say this is height h1 and this is height h2. So we have 3 students. So what would student 1 do? Student 1 take this directly to height from h1 to h2. The student 2 does a very different kind of thing. He takes the ball, lifts it up little bit, then again put it down, then again lift it little bit, then again put it little bit down, and in the third time he or she reaches to this height h2. Okay, this is the student 1, this is the student 2, and what does student 3 does? Student 3 does the spiral. In a spiral he takes it up to this height h2 in a spiral motion. This is student 3. So in all the cases, so this is the surface of earth and zoom it out. So in all the cases, these are the 3 cases, the height is same. The height is same, h2. This is height h1. The student 1 was direct. The student 2 was in steps, and student 3rd was spiral. So according to you, which ball will have more work done? So you will say that this ball was done more work upon, but will the potential energy be different? Potential energy depends only on the final and initial heights. Since the height difference delta h remains same for all of them, so there will not be any difference. On what does this potential energy depends? Only on the initial and final position. Same thing they are trying to say, it is independent of path. So if a student does some kind of zigzag motion, let us say one is bringing this directly here, another one is bringing in zigzag motion, and third one is bringing in spiral motion. In all the cases, the potential energy stored will remain same, it will not change. Now it is independent of the path. So if there is a question comes in your exam, that suppose if there are 4 students and they are bringing something from point A to B using different parts. One is a straight line, another one is zigzag motion, third one is a spiral, fourth one is doing something else like this. So what will be the consequence? Which one will have the highest potential energy? A, B, C or D, or all will have equal? So answer is all will have the equal potential energy stored. So it is independent of the path taken. This is the fundamental characteristic of the conservative force. So this is because of the conservative nature of the force. The concept of potential energy would not be meaningful if the work depends on path. So if the work depends on path, so that there would not be a potential energy. That would be something else. So the potential energy depends only on the distance of initial and final positions. The path independence of the work done by electrostatic field can be proved using Coulomb's law, and this is not in your course. But till this point you understand that it is path independent. Now second thing is that equation 2.2, that means this delta u is equal to up minus ur of that equation 2.2. This equation delta u is equal to delta up, so up minus ur wrp. This equation 2.2 defines potential energy difference in terms of physically meaningful quantity work. So what is this in real life? What is useful to you? Work, not the potential energy. So it defines the this potential energy in terms of work. Clearly the potential energy so defined is determined to with an additive constant. So there is no additional constant. What this means is that actual value of potential energy is not physically significant. It is only the difference of potential energy that is significant. So again, so they are saying this, there is some potential energy stored before. So what is the matter is that even if it has certain potential energy alpha before movement from P to R, it will cancel out because it will add in both the cases. So only thing matter is the difference of U at P and U at R, not this additional constant alpha. So it is independent of that additional constant alpha. We can always add any arbitrary constant alpha to the potential energy at every point, since this will not change the potential energy difference. So we can add because it will not change the difference. Put it differently, there is a freedom. So this now goes in deep into physics. Put it differently, there is a freedom in choosing the point where potential energy is zero. So potential energy, ideally potential energy cannot be zero anywhere, but let us say there is a point origin O where potential energy is zero. This is point R, this is point P. So what matter is the difference between these points R and P, not how it is related to O and how it is related to P. It does not matter, because in both of them an additional constant alpha will be there, which will ultimately cancel out. So what is ultimately meaningful is the distance between R and P. So and also this gives one freedom to choose O anywhere. So one chooses O here, another person chooses O here, and third person chooses O here. So everybody has to apply an additional constant. Let us say this person applies additional constant alpha, this applies beta, and this applies gamma. But here you see, if all of them add the equal constant, either alpha, beta or gamma, so all of them will cancel out and all will get to the same result. Now with this choice, if we take point R at infinity, so let us, so we were bringing this from R to P. So now since this is R choice, so what we are doing is the putting R at infinity. So this R is at infinity. So this charge is brought from infinity. This charge is brought from infinity to point P. So the work done is W infinity to P is equal to UP minus U infinity, and this at this point this potential energy is zero. So this remains only UP. At this point R, which is at infinite far, this is origin point. At this point potential energy is 0. So U infinity is 0. If we put this point of choice at infinity, the potential energy is infinity. Since the point P is arbitrary, again P is also our choice, with equation 2.3. So what is equation 2.3? So this is equation 2.3. This provides us a definition of potential energy of Q at every point. So what is the definition of potential energy? It is from here. Potential energy of a charge Q at a point in the presence of electric field due to any charge configuration. So is the work done by the external force equal and opposite to the electric force in bringing the charge Q from infinity to that point? So this is the equation for electrostatic potential energy. Again read it without these lines. Let's remove these, then it will become much more clear. These are only for explanation. Potential energy of a charge Q at a point is the work done by the external force in bringing the charge Q from infinity to that point. Read it again. Potential energy of a charge Q at a point is the work done by the external force in bringing the charge Q from infinity to that point. These are only for the explanation what we have done, but the definition is still from here to here without these lines.